Chief Rabbi, communal leaders, and most importantly, the Jewish community of Johannesburg. On behalf of the South African Zionist Federation, I want to welcome you to here today. This is a day like no other day. This is a day that you can tell your children and grandchildren about. The Jewish history of South Africa will record today, the day we stood up to our enemies and we said to them, do not import the conflict of the Middle East into our beloved South Africa. The South African Jewish community are loyal citizens of this country. And for the past 110 years, they have been passionate and ardent Zionists. The South African Zionist Federation was formed 110 years ago, before the Union of South Africa, before the Republic of South Africa, and before the new South Africa. This community has always been Zionist. It will always be Zionist. And it stands shoulder to shoulder with Israel. We understand fully that this is a country made up of many communities. They have come from all over the world, from all religions, from all colors and all creeds. And together we make the rainbow nation of South Africa. And us Jews are proud to be one of the distinct colors of that rainbow nation. But our blood is also blue and white. We are Jews and have been Jews for 4,000 years. Our forefathers came to the land of Israel on the instructions of our God, a God who is held to be a God by all three main religions of this world. Our right to Israel cannot ever be challenged. We and Israel are inextricably one. And for 110 years, we have been loyal South Africans and loyal supporters of Israel and what the Israelis have achieved in 60 miraculously short years. We understand, however, that certain other South Africans of this rainbow nation support other groups in the Middle East. And that is their right, just as it is our right to support Israel. We are a community that tolerates the rainbow nation. We tolerate and understand that other groups in this country, other religions and other peoples can support Hamas, can support whoever they want to. We find it objectionable, we find it difficult to stomach, but for the sake of this country and for the peace of this country, we accept their right to differ from us. All we ask is that when you show your loyalty and support to whoever you wish to show, do not target the Jewish community of South Africa. You can march outside any mosque that you so wish. You can march outside any embassy that you so wish. You can march in the CBD. You can march in Rosebank. You can march in Sandton. But don't come to our neighborhood in a street with schools and synagogues on the eve of our holy Sabbath and try to provoke a conflict in this nation. To make matters worse, this march, called by Kusatu, a member of the Tripartite Alliance, was not granted It was declared illegal by the Johannesburg City Council and the South African police forces. And that the authorities of this country and the law of this country were to be breached, they insisted and were determined to come to this neighborhood and cause the strife and violence which every South African has spent the last 20 years trying to avoid. And so we reach out to our brothers of all colors and all creeds in this society, in this city, and in this country. And we say to them, respect us the way we respect you. Support whoever you may wish and desire, but do not attack another minority group in South Africa. We have enough problems in this country. We have enough problems in this continent, problems that have a devastating effect on this country with regard to crime, with regard to cholera, with regard to xenophobic violence. Please don't introduce another schism in this society by importing a conflict from the Middle East. Go back to your suburbs, go back to your areas, and we will never touch you. We will never object. That is the purpose of today's march. And I want to thank from the deepest bottom of my heart and of this community's heart that you have come here today to say that a line has been drawn in the sand. We will simply not tolerate provocation and demonstrations in our schools, in our neighborhoods, which are against the very laws of this country and its constitution. Thank you. Your support has never been failing to come. You have always rallied to the cause of Israel. We are extremely proud of what Israel has achieved in this recent war. It was a difficult war. Nobody in Israel ever wanted it, but it was a war that was supported by the overwhelming majority of citizens of the State of Israel, because Israel, like any other country anywhere in the world, is entitled to stop 8,000 rockets from being fired into its territory. It is entitled to stop suicide bombers who have to date killed in excess of 1,000 Israeli citizens. We as Jews and Israel as the nation of the Jews are entitled to the rights that every single other nation has to defend itself in the manner which it deems fit, so that its people can live with the peace and the prosperity of every single other nation in the world. And that is all we support when we come here today, and when we, in rallies in years gone by and in years to come, that is what we are saying. The Jewish people of South Africa, together with the Jews of the world, stand together with Israel. We understand your fight for your existence every single day. And we, in our small ways, in the diaspora communities, who owe so much to Israel, who have ensured there will never be another Holocaust, who have ensured that Jews, for the first time in 2,000 years, can walk in the streets with pride and dignity that our parents and grandparents and ancestors, since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago, have never been able to do. And it's for that reason that we are here today. We are carrying our flags, and we are saying, thank God for the state of Israel. Am Yisrael Chai. The nation of Israel will always live in the footpaths of our God, of our tradition, and of our destiny. And this community, as has always been the case, today stood up for Israel, stood up for its own pride and dignity, and for that I want to thank you all.